Well, hello there, and welcome to the Total Woman Show. This is Dr. Barbara Young, and on Transformation Success TV, and I'm so glad you guys are here. The audience, oh my God, oh hello, oh I'm so glad they're here. Thank you very much for coming to the show today. I so appreciate your taking the time to come to the show today, because we have got a show for you, and those of you who are viewing this show, wow, do we have a guest today? And then, of course, I welcome back my co-host, Miss Althea Ledford, who is the editor of E!, the magazine for the female, today's female executive. I love it. And she's global. I'm telling you, she's absolutely fantastic. And, of course, Dr. Carrie Perry. You know, Dr. Perry, I told somebody was having you on the show, and they said, Dr. Carrie Perry. It sounded, you know, the stage name, Dr. Carrie Perry. Well, let me tell you, Dr. Perry is a doctor, a PhD in media psychology. She's been a college professor for 20 years. She's an experienced teacher, mentoring and really developing strategic, what I call thinkers. So your academic background is impeccable, and I didn't know about you, but I heard about you and all the things that you're doing. And so Dr. Perry her experience includes all of what we call mass-mediated communications, including print, digital, and film. Whoa, are you heavyweight? In addition, she's a subject matter expert in communication, corporate training, color and cognition, and employment. Wow, you're gonna have to tell me all about that. So really, she currently is the co-owner of her company, PS Communications Company, and you're doing a lot of work with a lot of business entrepreneurs and a lot of people, and you have a wealth of background and experience. So welcome, Dr. Carrie.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you on the show. You look good too.
Yeah,
I mean, wow, woohoo!
Trying.
So really, today the theme of our show really is about women today forging a new journey after recareering. I like it.
I love that term. I love that term. Forging a new journey after
recareering.
Yes.
And this woman has done it and is still doing it. So you do consulting regularly, and so you want to tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got started. I mean, you know, you're this great woman.
Well, teaching.
Okay.
When you have a love and a passion for teaching, you have a love and passion for words and helping others.
Yes.
Words are so important in a digital society. And meeting my business partner, who was actually one of my students.
Yes.
And we connected on the first class, even though he told me he hated writing.
Wow.
And that he always got A's. And he'll probably shoot me for saying that. But when you find students that are so eager to learn, it makes teaching so very easy. And once I decided that I was going to pursue the PhD and I wanted to retire from teaching and maybe do something else, Sean and I came up with the idea for the strategic communication
Your
company.
student.
Yes.
Your student.
Sean is my business partner. And he's honestly the best part of the partnership.
Well,
I have to tell you, he keeps me young and on my toes and answering questions and researching. So he's the millennial and I'm the boomer. And we show the world that yes, millennials and boomers can get along,
make it,
and be productive.
Well, you know, we do know Sean. We've had Sean on the show because he's talking about cryptocurrency, and he's really avid about that. So we know what a dynamic young man he is. And you know, he's like the quiet storm, because he doesn't come off, you know, rah, 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 but he just sits there, you know, I said, Sean.
I
said,
and you know what? He miss a thing.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's so observant.
Yes.
So anyway, I just have to keep calling him, you know, his name, because I was doing Sean Taylor Duval. That was Sean Duval Taylor. I said, oh no, he's Sean Taylor Duval.
He's Sean Taylor
God
Duval,
forget me, you know, forgive me for missing his name. But Dr. Carrie Perry and Mr. Sean Taylor Duval are a great partnership.
Yes.
So. We are, and Sean is probably only a year away from his PhD in media psychology.
That's great.
And so I'm just telling you now, once he gets that PhD, we're going to rock the world.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you put
That's
it
our
out.
plan.
You put it out in the universe, it will happen.
Exactly.
But Carrie, what drove your interest in communications and digital world and print and all of this? What drove you into that, and so to speak?
Well, I love stories.
Okay.
And I learned to read at a very early age.
Okay.
And that was for my mom's benefit because I drove her crazy wanting her to read me books. And finally she just said, I'm going to teach you to read so you can read your own.
Okay.
And I love stories and love words. And I was always, even as a 3-year-old, walking up to complete strangers and saying, "Hi, my name's Carrie. Who are you? What do you do?"
Wow.
And
That's funny.
so I love to read. I love words. I love stories. I like to set my own schedule teaching. And people in my family say I'm bossy. So teaching was a wonderful profession.
Right.
But my passion is really making sure that people understand they have a voice, and it is critical that they use that voice for public good.
Good. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
there's so much negativity in the media, and the goal that Shauna and I have for the company is really to make a positive impact through our words and to helping people find their message and helping them share it.
Let me ask you a question. So do you think that media is changing us, or are we actually changing media?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
Media psychology is really about understanding that the message and the medium are vitally important.
Yes.
And I'm paraphrasing Marshall McLuhan there. But the field studies human behavior, cognition, which is how we learn and absorb information, and emotions, and the impact that media and technology have on us as both content consumers
Yes.
and content
Yeah.
creators.
Right.
Right.
Now, how is it changing because millennials communicate differently than we do.
Yes.
And I assume that trajectory is going to continue to go into a direction. What do you think is happening?
Well, technology has really changed the way that we communicate.
Yes,
You know,
right.
we used to have the dial phones and we depended upon snail mail. And now
Yes.
technology, we can communicate around the world, you know, faster than you can blink your eyes.
Absolutely.
So they are just a generation that grew up with the new technology. And as a result, why should they work harder when they can work smarter?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but the bridge is that there are times when a text is perfect, there are times when a phone call is adequate, but
Right.
there are times when we sit down and we
Right.
talk together.
Right.
And literacy then, digital
It's
literacy, is knowing that difference.
Yes.
But Carrie, don't you think that we're losing something with all of this digital communication and not of the face-to-face interaction? And we're texting. Your relationships are now where you're texting one another, you know. And to me, we're losing something. Do you feel there's going to be a remedy, or we'll have, you know, another change around where people will come back? Because everything sort of has a vicious circle.
Well, and we are in many ways. Anytime that you make a step forward with technology. Okay, so for example, when we went from walking everywhere to driving everywhere.
Right.
Okay, we started gaining weight. Okay, because we weren't getting that much
The exercise, right.
Okay, so when we went from the party lines, you remember those?
I
Okay.
do.
We caught up on what everybody was doing in life. Okay, and then we have the smartphones and now we're texting.
Right.
And we're more isolated. And then social media comes charging in on its giant white horse, and we're now reconnecting with people that we hadn't talked to in 40 years.
Exactly.
Okay.
True.
With any advance, there's going to be disadvantages. Yes. Is there greater isolation? Yes.
Okay.
But the other side of that is if you are in a rest home and you don't have family, you can connect on social media and on Pinterest or discussion boards and connect with people and share your life story.
That's true.
Right.
Or
That's
join
true.
a book club
That's
and
true.
communicate online. So, yes, there's always going to be advantages
But
and
there's some disadvantages.
Yeah, many.
I'm dating a guy, and he's texting me how much he cares for me, and he's with somebody else. No, I'm just, you know, that's a scenario.
But it is.
But you know, and you're like, you don't know. You have
You
no
wouldn't have
idea.
any way
I
of
wouldn't have a
knowing.
clue.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
so that's a
And the intonations in the voice, as you
You
notice.
miss that.
Yes,
But also,
we do.
they haven't developed the skill of it, because now when sometimes you talk to millennials, it's a monotone.
Right.
They don't know the inflections in their voice.
Right.
Common
The
social
enthusiasm.
etiquette. Yeah, customer service.
Well, absolutely. And,
know?
and I have to share with you a high school student that was getting ready for college interviews. She came to my house and I coached her. She says, they want to talk to me.
And she's scared. I don't know what to say.
And I
What did she
said,
say?
Yeah.
you say
I don't know
the
what to
same
say.
things out loud
Yes.
that you would say in a text. Oh.
But a text is
But you
abbreviated.
know-
Oh my God, Carrie, are you serious?
But we laugh at that.
Yeah, but they don't know. They don't.
But they really don't
They
know.
don't.
Oh my goodness.
When I was teaching, and you can relate to this, students would come up and say, do I have to buy the textbook? Well, if you want to pass the class,
Yes,
okay. But they really
Yeah.
wanted to know, do they have to buy it or can they download it on their phone?
Exactly.
So it's understanding their point of view,
Yes.
Which is different from ours.
which is different from ours.
Yeah.
And what is the question that they're really asking? And you know from all the mentoring that you have done, it's when somebody throws out a question or a statement, it's like you have to think about it for a minute and you have to say, okay, what is it that they really want to know?
Oh my God, this is scary. So let me ask you one other question. When we were talking, relationships got misunderstood. When we were face to face, people were not communicating.
Right.
Like this. So now that we're texting, how are people going to communicate, and how do you love somebody if you're texting them? You know, how do you get to the relationship? Customer service, how do you know what the customer is really saying if you don't actually talk to them? It's not going to come across.
Well, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. It's understanding the purpose of your message and understanding your audience. And how are they going to best benefit from the communication that you have? Now, let's go back to that dating scenario. Okay, you can text and, yeah, I like you. Meet for coffee.
Okay, good. I see
Okay.
what you're saying. Yes.
And that's where we're coming back to, we are not being emotionally and psychologically satisfied by simple relationships through texting. Even social media. There is this wall, this digital wall that comes up, and as sometimes it's easy to hide behind technology. I mean, haven't we all left a message for somebody and called them back knowing that they couldn't pick up the phone at that time?
Right.
Okay, that's hiding behind technology. Okay. However, at the bottom line, it's going to come down to that face-to-face.
Yes.
You cannot have a digital relationship that is going to be satisfying for either party. We are social beings. We have to have that human touch.
Absolutely.
We have to know that when we're talking to somebody and we feel their skin, we feel that energy pass between us.
I want to look in your eyes.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to look eye to eyeball to eyeball.
Well, especially as women.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you had a conversation with the man and he's looking at his phone or he's looking around or watching TV and women are going, look at me. Look at me when I talk to you. Okay, that, maybe you can do a Zoom call. Okay, but still, you cannot feel the energy that human beings emit with one another unless you sit down in person.
Well, you know, there's another question I have too, and this is happening more and more for individuals who are going to seated events to hear a speaker. It's hard to get a sellout house now.
Right.
Yes.
People going to hear a seated event to hear a speaker. You know, used to Tony Robbins would pack out, Les Rock would pack out. No, now it's Facebook, it's all digital to look at somebody. I don't have to go to a seated event. So, and now we have online classes where you can get your PhD online or your THD online. So I don't see that trend ending. I see there probably an exacerbation of it or another iteration of it in the future. And that's what I'm sort of hoping that you're keeping tabs, you and Sean, sort of keeping tabs. It's the lens, putting on the scope, the lens of where we're going to be
I'm so glad that you brought that up because we were at a recent event and Sean did a Facebook Live. But the Facebook Live was 5 minutes. And really, the Facebook Live and social media presentations are meant to be teasers. They're like
Right.
the movie trailers.
Right.
Okay.
To say, come
Now,
over here.
I can watch a movie at home on my TV. I am not getting the surround sound experience of sitting with other people, all of us laughing at the same time, crying at the same time.
Right.
So, we're going to continue to go down this path, but it's going to be seen as different. I've taught online classes, okay? But twice a week, I had online office hours where students were required at least 5 times in a 16-week semester to sit with me face to face, so to speak, even if it was
Virtual.
digital camera to
Right,
digital
right,
camera.
right.
Right.
And we talk so that I can see what's the body language. Because as a teacher, as a mentor,
Right.
you read the body language
Right.
because the body
Right.
language
Right.
overcomes whatever is
Yes.
coming out
Yes.
of the mouth.
Yes.
And so, again, online is great. I don't think it should go away. I think it serves a purpose. But you're going to start seeing the pendulum swing a little
Right.
bit more
Right.
because the only way to feel Tony Robbins, and if you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, the energy in that room is so powerful that you walk out of there, I can take on the world
Yes, I can do it.
because I hear what Tony is saying and I know that he was talking directly to me.
Yes, yes.
You don't get that from an online performance.
No, you don't.
However, the online is simply to get you to come, to get you to take the classes, to get you more involved.
Right.
And that
Right.
is the power of the internet, is it brings us enough together, piques our curiosity, and then we say, you know what, I want more of Dr. Barbara Young. When she has a seminar, I'm going to be there.
Right.
Because if she is that good online, I want to be able
Exactly.
to sit down with her and I
Yes.
want to be able
Yeah.
to tell her, you have changed my life, which, by the way, you have changed my
Well,
life
well, thank
in a very positive,
Well, thank you.
very positive
Thank
manner.
you.
And I know Sean feels the same.
Thank you.
But we were talking about it. You go to any kind of networking event, and you know, you've both been to so many.
Right, right.
You can have somebody tell you about it, or you can have somebody be there.
Right.
And you know that there's certain people in the room that have this kind of magnetic pull
Right,
to
exactly.
you.
Right.
You don't get that online.
No.
But what
That's true.
what you do get is an introduction
True.
Right.
to
Okay.
a later.
Start.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And to me, the digital is never going to completely replace
No.
Right.
the
No.
human to human, because if it does, then our
Yeah.
society won't
It's
survive.
collapsing.
This is what I was thinking on customer service. You know how corporations now, the human is gone. Everything is
They're the bot.
click here, click here, click here.
They're the
And
bot.
you create loops and you never get the problem resolved.
Right.
People go to other businesses. So a human picking up the phone, hearing the problem, and then knowing how to
Navigate it.
Yes, it's far more effective.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that will be a trend, and I hope you guys write some books about
Well,
it.
that's where we come in as
Exactly.
content creators.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, Senator Walsh threw out this about nurses don't work that hard, they sit around and play cards.
Right.
On her website, she asked for people to call. She has created a firestorm to the point that I think there's like 3 million nurses in the
Wow.
United States have started calling her office to the point that they shut down the phone lines.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Social
Yeah.
media
Yeah.
was her
Yeah.
vehicle.
Yeah.
She created an upset to the point that people are saying, you know what? That's not my story. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, Senator,
Right.
what my story is.
Right.
So it's this synergistic relationship that we
Right.
have between the human and the digital and then the humans have to say, and we're navegating this. We're
Right.
still
It's
learning.
learning.
We're
all
learning,
of
and
this.
there's going to be trial and error with anything
Absolutely.
that we learn. I'm a believer that the human beings are social beings, as you said that, and we're going to need that. We need the
Yes.
touch. We need the affirmation. We need to see face to face. I don't think that's ever going to go away.
You know, there's professional huggers now. There's professional comforters
Well, there's
now.
professional mourners.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
why do we need this? Because we're not getting it enough in our
Yeah.
daily
Right,
lives
yeah.
from our
Yeah.
friends,
Right,
our
yeah.
families. And we cannot live without it. I mean, I know I can't.
Well, we
I
need
mean,
it.
I'm,
We need
I'm a
it.
hugger.
Well,
and
I think as
and I'm a
human
toucher.
beings,
Well,
we
yeah,
have
we have it.
these needs, and as Maslow talked about his hierarchy,
Absolutely.
we need each other, and we need that fuel to keep us going. And that fuel is relationships
Yes, it is.
and touch.
And that's
And
what
you
it's
know,
all about.
Kids need it even in elementary
Well,
school.
they need a lot of it.
Right.
These
It
kids
just-
are starving.
It's healing by itself. Yeah.
But I have a question.
Sure.
Because I don't want to run out of time before we
Right.
get a chance to talk about your book that is about millennials. Millennial is not a bad word.
Yes.
See, you think I forgot, didn't you? She
Yeah,
thought
think
I forgot.
Millennial is not a four-letter
Not a
word
four-letter
or something.
word.
We're still playing with the title. We're still playing with the title.
So, what is that book about?
It's really about understanding and accepting a different point of view.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I think it was Socrates that complained about teenagers and how they always misbehave. Okay? That each generation has its flaws, has its contributions. I think millennials have gotten this bad rap because they are so different than the
Yes.
boomers.
Yes.
But then our world is so different.
Different.
They have adapted to the world that they have been given.
Yes.
Okay. They're brilliant. They think differently.
Yes.
They have higher expectations. We have spoon fed them information.
Yes.
They have learned by YouTube video and not by trial and error.
The thing is, bottom line, who were they raised by?
Thank you. Exactly.
Exactly.
That's it. They didn't grow off a tree.
I mean, who
had
were
to-
they
I-
raised by?
Yeah, I had to tell a parent the other day, who's
Jeez.
paying the phone bill?
Thank
Who
you.
owns the
Exactly.
phone?
Exactly.
Take it away.
Take it away.
You're the parent. You're not the child's friend.
So, and they were raised with television. They
Yeah.
were raised with all these video games. They
And
were
we
raised.
didn't give them but we were like, you don't have to work so hard. Just go to school. You don't have to have chores.
Right. We
You don't
want
have
to do
work.
all of this
We're gonna do it all
for you. So we
Get an education. Go to school.
Yeah, don't get a job.
we
Just get an
create this
education.
mess and now we complain
Like,
about
where
it.
did you come from exactly?
Yeah. You know what? Millennials
I
are
love
just,
them.
just different thinkers. I love
That's
them.
awesome.
too,
I love
because You know
millennials.
what
They are
is so strong about millennials? They will look at a situation, analyze it within
Seconds.
seconds,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then tell you
Yeah.
different ways to solve the
Yeah, and
problem.
they think out of the box, exactly.
Right.
They'll research, they'll get on there and find out how to do it.
I will come
and
up
back
with
and
all
tell
these
you.
great ideas,
Yeah.
and Sean will say, okay, so how are we going to implement this, Carrie?
Yes.
It's like, Sean, that's your job.
I know.
I think, I write, you figure out how to, no.
Yes.
Well,
but that is what
that's what-
millennials do.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I'm
And you know
glad
what?
you're
We
doing
need
it.
them.
We need them. There's another aspect, and I hope that you're addressing this too in your book, is that there are some things, there's a disconnect with them and corporate, or the culture has to change in corporate, how they relate to millennials, because they think differently. They want to feel that they're valuable and that they're contributing something to the company.
Yes.
So we then, I think of me as the baby boomer, I'm probably something else, but thinking of how we, and I think you're doing that, you and Sean, make that connection with
Yes.
companies, and it has to come from the top. They
Yes.
have to change
Yeah.
their ways of thinking and have a new way
Yes.
of embracing this new generation.
For talent retention, so they keep.
And you know what? It comes back down to, let's just talk. Let's communicate.
Well, here's what I just got from someone saying that and what I learned by default is that the person of the company has to be seen, or she, and they have to articulate the vision. They have to articulate that
Yes,
in
they
person.
do.
They have to also embrace and how much we appreciate and value you. We want you, we value you because then they're going to value the customers. But it has to come from the top.
Can we please get back to the time where employees were the most important asset of an organization?
That's true.
Well-
and that the way you treat your employees is the way your employees are
Gotta
going to
treat the
treat your
customer,
customers.
yes.
And then the customers are going to respect you
Yeah.
Give you good.
because
Well,
of this circle of respect.
Yes.
I did a tagline when I was doing consulting with companies. Employees are the reason for our work, not an interruption in it.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
brilliant.
beautiful?
Yes, that's really
beautiful.
good.
And I did another one for students, and I had everyone on the campus have that above their desk. Students are the reason for our being, not an interruption in it.
Absolutely.
And to remind everyone of
Yes.
that, they had a plaque over their desk or their cubicles, because you have to really tie that in,
Yes.
that we exist here
Because
because
of
of you,
Yes.
and we value
And we
you.
cannot do this without
you.
Yeah.
I had a baby boomer say, I don't want to deal with millennials, so I just quit and went into my own business. And I said, well, you realize
You're gonna be
that
dealing with 'em.
before you die,
You're going to be doing
they will be
You're gonna be
running the
dealing with 'em.
world and
Yes.
creating
Yes.
all of the laws and regulations
Yes,
that
indeed, they
affect
are.
your small business.
They are.
And he looked at me and I said, you know what? Love them and appreciate them
Yes.
and celebrate the differences, because you know what? I don't know everything. And
That's
they're going to come
absolutely
in
right.
and they're
That's
going to
absolutely
show
right.
me things
That's absolutely right.
and ways of thinking that are different, that I'm going to go, wow,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Well, Carrie, when do you expect this book to be finished?
December.
This year?
December this year.
Okay, so-
it will be finished.
Okay.
And we've got 2 more that are coming. One of them is 15 things you need to know to make your business pop on social media.
Okay.
And the other one is digital literacy for parents.
Oh,
Because
wow.
you know what? We don't need to teach the kids yet. We've got to teach the parents first.
Well-
because you know what? Nobody has taught us this stuff.
No.
No.
It just
no,
kind of
no.
rolled in
Right.
like a
right.
hurricane,
Right.
and everybody said, okay,
Well, truly,
the
Carrie,
internet is here.
truly, you are the chief storyteller.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are the chief
I love
storyteller.
stories. I love listening to
we love you.
stories.
We
Oh,
love
thank
you.
you.
Keep telling those stories. And you know what I was thinking? A new book for you is a book of stories about you when you were a little girl and how you ran up to
Oh,
people
no.
and said, "Who are you and what do you do?"
Especially if they were in uniform, because I had 3 uncles in the military, and I would walk up and say, do you know my Uncle Bud? You know, and my mom would go, where's Carrie? Where's Carrie? Oh, my dad would say, she's over there talking to the Marine. It's
Right.
like, if you were in uniform, I had to sit down and talk to you because maybe you knew my family.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Well, I certainly appreciate your
I
being
haven't
on the
stopped
show
talking to
today.
people since.
I know,
Okay?
I know, but
haven't.
that's what's lovable about
Oh,
you.
thank you.
And the fact that your students love you. You know, you are definitely the consummate professor because you can talk. Because anyway, you
I
got
would
to talk
talk.
for an hour and a half. You know,
And I was paid for it. They paid
know,
me
and
to
that's
share
that's the
my
beauty.
opinions. I mean, what kind of better
that's
job
the
could
beauty
you
of
have?
it.
That's true.
I
That's
got
the
paid
beauty.
to talk about
Yeah.
stuff I wanted to talk about.
And that's the beauty of it. But your students love you, and so
Thank you.
glad that you're in the system. We had a former professor on the show. Well, no, a person who is a professor on the show, Dr. Carol Provo, who's at Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Yes, you know
So
her from
we had
yes,
Dr. Provo
She teaches those
applied
statistics. You know what?
Jay.
You have to love any woman
Remember,
that
yes.
Yeah.
can make statistics
Right,
fun.
we do.
Right?
We do.
Okay, I can make words
But
fun.
you make words fun, and that's what's important. And then here's the editor of a magazine. She makes words fun for other people
I
who
know.
write in her magazine.
Thank you.
So,
So awesome.
it's a joy to have you on the show and have you. And we got to have you back. And the next time we have you back, let's see, shall we have Sean?
Yes.
Taylor Duvall?
we have to have Sean.
So we'll have
Yes.
Sean Taylor Duvall on the show. Okay.
Mr. Sean Taylor
Okay.
Duvall.
No,
And
I'm
then-
going to say doctor.
Well,
Soon
you know
to be
what?
doctor.
He is, in 2 months, he'll be all but dissertation.
Okay,
Okay,
that's great.
that's good,
And then
yeah.
we do know who to refer him to in case he has a problem with stats.
Yes,
Yay!
we do. I mean,
Dr. Provo.
oh yeah,
I'm gonna make a
absolutely.
call to her
I
right
could
away.
not get through stats without a tutor.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's horrific. It's like, who made this up? Yeah, sure.
I know.
But I got through stats and got an
That's
A.
because you're brilliant.
No,
What?
no.
What?
I didn't realize I had a gift for math. I really didn't.
Really?
Because I think I never grew up thinking math was hard.
Okay.
So I think I've talked to a lot of students when I was a professor and saying, because you have that mindset that math was hard. I
That
never
is so
had
true.
that. I never
Yeah.
had the
So you-
mindset
there's like a whole
that math
pushback
is hard.
when you get to
And
it.
I took calculus, trigonometry, geometry. It wasn't hard. And I love statistics because I like making those charts. I like making
Now
those.
see, I love the charts. I love
those
the charts. I hate the formulas.
I know. To
But,
get to the
but it
to
was
get
okay.
to get to the chart. But I
It's
did
okay.
have a calculus professor in undergrad tell me, you know, if you would just get out of your own way, you would do very well in calculus. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I had an attitude problem.
yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of times
But
it
you're
is a
right. I
mindset.
believed
and we've got to
that
stop
math
telling
was hard.
kids,
To it.
a lot of the youngsters, that this is hard or that's, but it's a mindset.
And that's the beauty about millennials, because they don't think anything is hard. And
They
the
don't.
Gen Z
Oh, it's even more.
that's coming
intense.
up,
Yeah.
it's like, what do you mean? I can't do that. You
Yeah.
can't tell me I can't do
Yeah.
that. Let me
And
show
I think,
you how I do that.
and I think a lot of the adults, God bless all of you out there, that you have to really understand that we're dealing with a different mindset
Yes, you are.
of youngsters. And who created that mindset?
We did.
So anyway,
We
I
did.
want to thank you for being on the show today. Oops, my voice has been clanging, so forgive that. But I just want to thank you for being on, listening and viewing and making comments, because this has been a great show.
Thank you.
To have these ladies,
Ladies,
on
I
today.
feel honored
so
to be
remember to write,
sandwiched here.
Yes.
Write Carrie. She's the culprit. Okay. Don't write me any nasty letters. Don't send me anything nasty.
You can send them to me. I can handle it.
Oh my goodness.
She's a wordsmith, so she'll know
Yes,
how to.
I-
she'll
and
know
I
how
will
to
be very
say the right
professional and
words to
polite.
you. But I just want to thank the audience here today for coming. Thank you so much. We appreciate your tuning into this show today. A woman who's absolutely recareered on another journey, and I want to wish you
And I'm
all
having
of God's
fun.
blessings. I mean, it looks
we-
like
are we having
Carrie,
fun or
I mean,
what?
it looks like you're having fun.
I
mean, golly.
Awesome.
And thank you so much. And we want to give a big shout out to your husband too, who's your big supporter, Bruce.
Yes,
He supports
he
you in
is.
everything you do. So we want to give a shout out to him too today. So thank you again for tuning in to the Total Woman Show. This is Dr. Barbara Young signing off. Until next week, we'll have another dynamic show for you. And don't forget to write info@transformationforsuccess.com. See you next week.
Thank you.